Bonjour, bon, j'avais la flemme hier soir, enfin, c'est pas que j'avais la flemme, c'est que j'étais vraiment fatiguée et donc on va repartir, on va continuer notre troisième partie. Donc on s'était séparés et on a des quêtes à accomplir chacun de notre côté. Et là, je croyais qu'on était sur le point de bientôt se rejoindre. Alors, je sais que lui, je me rappelle que je peux lui prendre sa hachette. Je pense qu'il faut redéclencher la conversation. Si on veut la prendre pour aller voir son beau-frère, le maire, le commissariat. Le commissaire, oh là là.
Kotar is a small town. Where do strangers go when they visit? Any particular place I should know of?
Ah, glad you're asking. I got many recommendations. You should definitely venture into the Carcassa forest. Its trees are magical this time of year. Then don't miss out on the greatest view of the valley. Climb to the top of the Udaf mountain and enjoy the breathtaking sight. Lastly, take a diving course at the Lake Hali. I mean, forget about people. Don't ask anyone. Just dive. Just do it yourself and enjoy the rich underwater life.
I feel like you're...
I am.
What was that?
Tradition.
God is never...
Blah, blah. People around here, everyone...
The Vatican?
Crazy thing.
But why?
Look around.
Remember me?
Should I?
From last night?
I'm not a visual man.
So you don't remember my sister Victoria?
Victoria?
Did you see?
No.
She lost her...
Keep a look. Or ask someone...
And who would be that fool?
Fool?
The chief of police is your cousin?
Dominic
voilà, c'est ça.
Feared and respected law of the valley of Sveti Kotar.
I've had a chance to talk with him already. He doesn't seem to know where Victoria is.
That means nothing. He's either lying or you're a fool as much as he is. Was there anyone else when he talked to you?
Yes.
He likes that. He likes to be on the stage, in front of a crowd.
If I decide to talk to him, where should I go?
You'll find him in his office at the police station. It's where he eats, sleeps, and fulfills his needs. Talk to him alone. He's more vulnerable without a crowd. Walk into the police station. His office is the door on the left. Just knock and tell him Davor Gorski has sent you.
All right.
He won't care, so you'll have to give him a good reason to let you in. Luckily, that reason is in front of your eyes.
You?
C'est là qu'il nous propose la machette.
The cleaver, right in front of you.
A cleaver will make him change his mind? Is this a joke?
No joke. It'll wait for you here for whenever, if ever, you decide to talk to the fool.
Okay.
Excuse me. It's barely readable. That must read Sveti Kotar, and that should be the coat of arms of Croatia, the chessboard. Ivan Kotar. Sanctus Patronus. Only dust remains of the thing that was set on fire last night. This feels wrong. For some people, this stone is the only hope they have left. Haven, last seen on the last day of February 1993. Young Kadia, missing his love since June. Beloved wife and mother, Melita Lavnyak, missing since October 1991 at the entrance of Carcassa. Anyone found my legs yet? Our beloved priest and friend. White and red squares, a Croatian version of the chessboard. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty confident this is a 15th century map of Europe. Everything in this town revolves around that troubling period of human history. Asom Tavruli at the top, and the other two are Maleos Maleficarum by Heinrich Kramer, and an unnamed manuscript by Herodotus. What a strange taste for books.
Who is it?
I'd like to ask you some questions.
About what?
Different things. Maybe you could help me?
A stranger.
Could you come out of the room?
No, and I don't want to talk to you. Take a look at my inventory. Read some books. Do whatever you want. I don't care about those knockoffs. And take a sample of the town's map from the desk. That way you can't say I didn't help you.
But I...
Stop talking. I want silence.
Ok. Sympa. C'est direct hein, en même temps. Voilà. Alors la carte, je me demande comment on peut l'afficher. Ah voilà la carte. Ah d'accord. Ouais. Je suis toujours aussi paumée. Non, je sais quand même où on est. Ah, il y a une église pas loin derrière. Rien ici. On va aller par là-bas. On va voir l'église. Ce serait bien si on pouvait accélérer un peu les mouvements.
It leads towards the bridge to the police station. I'm not going in that direction now.
Alors, est-ce que je peux passer à l'autre? Non. Est-ce que je retourne de là où je viens? Je peux toujours accepter l'offre. Allez, juste par acquis de conscience. Peut-être qu'elle a d'autres choses à nous dire maintenant.
A crow attacked me outside and broke the lamp. I left it in the woods.
Oh, yes. That is why I never used it. The only time I did, I was attacked too.
And you couldn't have warned me?
I forgot, I'm sorry. But don't beat yourself up. I don't need the lamp anyway.
She said she wanted it back. Never mind. I dare not to try this. I have no faith in the outcome. The blasphemous basin is destroyed. I approve of the act. It's locked. I dare not to try this.
On sait jamais, hein. Les voies du Seigneur sont impénétrables. Ce qu'ils disent.
It's empty. Nothing in there anymore. Excuse me. Who keeps a dead tree? Four letters divided by a cross. V, K, J, and P. If I'm right, V should stand for Vera, J for Yakov, and P for Prenger. That is not love. It's a sin.
Tout de suite. C'est... Ah, tu veux pas... Puisque c'est un péché, vas-y avec
I should
ton
contemplate more
crucifix.
about this decision. I'm not going back in there.
Bah, je pense que ça va être le commissariat. Il y avait quoi de ce côté-là? Je me rappelle plus.
old boat. It's covered with a tarp. Arson?
Who is it?
It's Benedict, sir. Sorry to disturb you, but I've been told you could help me.
Who told you that?
A boy named Anton?
What do you want?
I need to get to the other side of the lake. It's important.
You can walk or swim.
How long would it take me to get to Klek on foot?
Click. Probably a day.
How long would it
Click.
The lake doesn't look inviting to dip in, and it's cold.
Didn't you just say it's important? If it is, you can do it. Why would you want to visit that damned locality?
A man I'm trying to find could be there.
You strangers. Why even come to this town?
It wasn't my choice.
Either way, you are a captive now. We are all captives of this place. Imprisoned souls waiting for our savior.
Sir, with all due respect, this town needs a legion of exorcists to be saved.
It needs just one soul with pure faith. One man, one soul to free us all.
Is that boat over there yours?
What are you, Benedict?
What do you mean?
I don't know you. You don't live here. Who are you?
I am Benedict Dohnani. I serve God.
You are a priest.
A monk from Budapest.
Good. We shall continue this conversation then.
About the boat.
You can't have it.
Oh, I didn't mean... I've never used one. I thought that maybe you could go with me.
No! The boat is occupied and no one can use it. And even if it wasn't, I am too old and too weak to board it.
Occupied by what?
You have my permission to uncover the top.
Why don't you just tell me?
It's better if you see it with your own eyes.
Do you know anyone else who could lend me a boat?
No one goes to the lake. There are no other boats.
That's a lie. What about the boat at the lodge?
You don't want to find yourself on that one. It belongs to the asylum. I'm the only one with a boat. No other inhabitant has one. Why would they? There's nothing here, and it's dangerous.
What places do you recommend I visit while in town?
You don't get to explore this place. If it doesn't devour you first, then only by the grace of God did you escape its swallow. We are surrounded by Carcassa in every direction. The Udav Mountain above us, and the Henna River and Lake Holly lay dead below. No animals live in this valley, except for the damned crows. Nothing grows or breathes inside these waters. We see death everywhere.
People still live here. It amazes me.
This is a valley of righteous men and women. We may be scared, with one foot in our graves, but we never lose faith, and we never succumb to darkness. A day will come when the light will win.
What did last night's effigy symbolize?
You were there?
Unfortunately.
I never do. I don't like crowded places, but I could see the fire from here, and it was beautiful. We torch it every year on the day of our patron saint, Ivan Kotar. The giant symbolizes a member of the Saboran tribe.
Yesterday was October 28th. What happened on that day?
The day Ivan Kotar was murdered.
Murdered?
Yes, we celebrate, nay, glorify the final moment of Kotar's long sacrifice for our ancestors, and thus, for us.
Who murdered him?
Decapitated by Vatican emissaries.
For what reason?
Accused of allying himself with the darkness from the mountain. It was such a horrible, horrible decision. Poor man gave his life for this town and its inhabitants, only to end up locked in his room and ultimately slain like an animal.
The more I hear about this town and its mysteries, I just can't believe it. What do you know about the moon ghouls?
They are everywhere. In the water, in the town, and the forest, on the mountain, and in the mala.
Mala? What is that?
It's what you strangers call fog. Hell, even some Kotarians call it that because they don't know or don't want to accept the truth.
The moon ghouls are in the fog?
Mala is not what it seems to be. It is not fog. You feel any humidity? Have you noticed the ground?
It is completely dry.
Because Mala is not a mass of water particles.
What is Mala then?
The remains of dead Saborans, or as many prefer to call them, moon ghouls. They think if they don't pronounce the tribe's true name that they will be safe, which is nothing but a fallacy.
Like I said and thought 100 times before, this place is doomed.
We just need one man, a savior. Someone like our Ivan Kotar from the past.
Have you seen a female stranger lately?
No.
No? Without even giving it a thought first?
No one visits me except Ida, the souvenir shopkeeper. I am sure I saw no female strangers in years.
What do you do here?
Trying to stay alive for as long as possible.
I mean, what do you do for a living?
I sell fish.
That old camper across the bridge is yours?
Yes, it was home to my parents before they settled in Sveti Kotar. They were...
Wanderers?
I wanted to say fools. I loved them, but for God's sake, why choose this town to start a family?
We don't get to pick our parents, and yet whatever they do, we never stop loving them.
Maybe it's not love. Maybe we are cursed the moment we are born.
You fish in the lake?
I never did. The waters are dead. Nothing grows or lives in them. Fish are sent to me every once in a while from other regions in Croatia. I have friends, mostly in Istria.
Did you know Jakov Prenger?
He was our priest and a good friend of mine.
I heard he disappeared.
On a full moon night, like many others in the past.
And that's it? No one knows what happened to him?
I'm afraid all we can do is pray for his soul.
Excuse me.
Il faut juste que je change. Désolée, mauvaise manœuvre. Je voulais juste changer mon statut parce que les notifications commencent à me m'énerver. Alors, il nous a dit qu'on pouvait soulever la bâche.
Oh my god! 2 bodies. 2 children. Long dead. Why the priest's robe and nun's habit? 2 bodies. 2 children. Long dead. Why the priest's robe and nun's habit? I've never seen a wood so dark in color as this one. It's almost like coal. I see pentagrams, and the letters V, M, I, and K. These are witch marks, carvings created to ward off evil spirits from the house. It's me again. You keep the corpses of 2 children in your boat?
My father and mother were small people. Midgets, as some would say.
What are they doing in there?
Laying peacefully in their temporary grave.
A temporary grave?
They were recently exhumed, and I had to take care of them.
I don't understand. Who exhumed them?
Henry, the priest of Sveti Kotar, he banished me from the church, and so my parents had to move out from the town's graveyard. Soil outside the church walls is tainted. The boat was the safest place.
They were clergy?
No. I dressed them as such to protect their bodies. The moon ghouls eat flesh, and they don't care if it's warm or cold.
Il n'y a plus beaucoup de chair hein, dessus.
Why the massive cross on top?
To protect them from the moon ghouls. Faith is the only thing that wards them off. But not for long.
Was it torched? The wood is very dark.
I made it from the trees that grow behind my house. I would never torch a cross.
What sin have you committed to have been banished?
Son, we are all original sinners, waiting for redemption.
We are, but you did something to deserve it.
God knows that is not the truth. Listen, talk to Henry. Reason with him. He must unban me.
Why would I do that?
Because you need the boat. If Henry accepts, I could move my parents back into their grave and the boat would be free again.
It's an opportunity to fulfill Father Imre's wish as well. I'll see what I can do.
He's not an easy man to talk to, but maybe he'll be more reasonable with you, monk.
Where can I find his church?
The Church of Ivan Kotar. Go back through the square, find the police station, then follow the alley to your right. Just be sure not to stray into Kuga. Wicked, evil people wander the former school district. They have no soul and have lost all faith.
You have no intention of telling me what you did?
I don't know. One day, he just said we are not welcome anymore. You have to ask him.
Excuse me.
Je vais voir si le gamin il a des nouvelles choses à me dire, on sait jamais, donc je suis là.
Excuse me.
Bon. On retourne sur la place, il a dit, il faut aller vers le commissariat et partir à gauche, je crois.
I have no reason nor... Which path should I take?
Hi. Oh, Johnny. Okay, message me. Tell me when you send me a message. How are you? I'm so glad to hear you. Yes, yes. It's minus 15 here. It's very, very
It's
cold.
locked. Only silence and darkness from inside.
Okay, okay, no problem. It was nice to see you, love.
Which path should I take?
Take care too. Okay, so take care if you're out. Ah, depends of it. Bye bye.
The Wall of Crosses. The entrance to Carcassa Forest. It was placed here for a reason. The wall prevents evil from getting out, and forewarns us not to step inside.
Ok, alors il faut que je trouve... Ah, c'est là. Alors, attends, si je veux y aller... Je vais déjà aller récupérer ce qu'ils appellent le cleaver, donc là, une espèce de petite machette. Pour ça, il faut que je discute avec
Excuse me.
lui.
What do you...
Where could I get a boat?
Are you...
Why?
Just walk along the shoreline.
You can't be serious. About the...
The only fool to have one.
Tell me about the...
They will eat your soul.
You know?
A cannibal tribe that follow the moon demons. The moon is the key.
In what way?
I already said too much. Seek more knowledge elsewhere.
Excuse me. Am I really going to take it?
Good. Very good, priest. Now go. Walk bravely into the Temple of Law. You're bringing a gift.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Ouais, donc on va sauvegarder. Non, c'est pas là.
I don't need it.
Carte.
For some people, this stone is the only hope. It's barely readable. That must read Sveti Kotar, and that should be the coat of arms of Croatia, the chessboard. Only dust remains of the thing that was set on fire last night. Ivan Kotar, Sanctus Patronus.
Prendre sur la gauche, j'avais dit. C'est par là-bas.
Souvenirnica Lavenjak. Ah, the drawing makes perfect sense. Lav in Croatian should mean lion. Tiny chairs of torture and bells. I must say they are faithfully recreated to the smallest detail. It evokes a repulsive feeling, and I guess that is its purpose, but I'm not sure it's something God would approve of, no matter the cause. Statues and death masks of Ivan Kotar, and some small-sized replicas of the torture wheel. A strange, tiny-sized tree with red leaves, growing out of a head vase makes it even stranger, if not morbid. They look so awkward and unnatural, as if made by someone who never saw them living. Weird executioner masks. They genuinely look old. Madam?
Do I look like a madam to you?
Well,
You're going to make me blush, sir. Welcome to my little hut. My name's Ida. Ida Lavnik.
I already know your name.
How? Do I know you?
Not really, but you know my sister. I was with her last night.
Oh, yes, I remember now. The shy and anxious older brother, Benedict. Or should I say, Monk Benedict.
She said that?
No, sir. It's just the way you looked. Why didn't you come closer when we called you?
Her eyes focused somewhere behind me, with a weary and terrified gaze.
It's all right. You don't have to answer. Where's Victoria?
She disappeared.
Oh no, not her. Not again. I hope she's not another victim of the moon.
Last night, did she come back after we left the square?
There were a lot of people here long after that, and I was preparing to close, so I really couldn't say.
Have you seen her today?
No, I don't think so. What's going on?
She was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof last night.
I heard about that accident this morning. She did that. She really pushed that man.
Eyewitnesses saw her.
Liars. Who are these people?
Does it really matter?
I don't know what to say except that Victoria is a good person. She looks so gentle and vulnerable. Like a butterfly. How can I help?
I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe only God can do something. Not even God. She's lost forever. You've heard about the mayor.
Heard what?
They found his body in the forest.
What? Who told you that?
The police forced me to see it. The body was hanged from the belfry of the Church of Mary. Mutilated, disemboweled, and half-eaten by the crows.
Those animals. I'm sorry you had to see that. Poor mayor. I'll light up a candle for him today.
What can you tell me about Nedman?
Never seen him, but have heard and retold many stories about him. What do you want to know?
It's a small town. How come you've never seen him?
Because he's one of those who lives under the moonlight, while the rest of us do our best to keep away from it.
A moon ghoul?
The worst of them all.
What book are you reading?
The Divine Comedy. I needed something to cheer me up.
C'est
So where's
interdit
Dante
par
now?
l'église, je crois.
Who?
Dante, the hero of the book? In what part of the book are you now?
Oh yes, how silly of me. He's in a dark forest and there are beasts he cannot evade. I think they symbolize something else.
Sins. The beasts represent the self-indulgent, the violent, and the malicious.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, the book intrigued me because the descriptions of where he is in the beginning reminded me of this valley. Does that make sense to you? I told this to my father and he scolded me right away.
You are quite right, madam.
Now all we need is our Virgil to rescue us.
Where should I look for Victoria? She won't come out in the open. It would be too risky.
Well, if I were you, I'd start my search in the forest.
In Carcassa?
Udav Mountain could be a good place to start too, but I've never been there, so I can't give guidance.
Carcassa and Udav are forbidden places, aren't they?
I don't believe what they say about them. The forest is a beautiful place. The tall trees, Pepel, the river spring, and the silence. Listen. Search the forest. Make sure not to get caught while entering, and keep your eyes open once inside. You'll be fine.
Who decided to forbid these places?
Ironically, the same man that was found dead in the heart of the forest, Mayor Ranko Merzel.
You think his death had something to do with the decision?
No, I don't know. The proof of fate is a decree that he put in place soon after taking control of the town. It's a decree that compels people to stay away from the places on the list, and to report suspicious activities and misbehavior.
Such as?
Blasphemous and heretical talk, to name a few. But the decree's main objective is to find and execute those against or unfaithful to God.
She sounds like she doesn't approve of this.
I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
You don't adhere to the law.
Not in this case, at least not entirely. You know. And please don't say this to anyone, or you'll have me tortured and killed, alright?
Go on. I promise.
Carcassa has been like my second home in the last few years. I can't get enough of its silence. I know what you are going to say. It's dangerous, dark, and forbidden. But listen to me. Sometimes it gets dangerous, true. And the mayor's death proves it. But isn't that normal? It's life. It's people.
It's life. Everything here feels rotten and reeks of death.
Don't say that. And don't talk to others this way. If we stop dreaming and lose hope, what do we have left? I have no idea where you should look, really. I'm sorry. Oh, wait. I have something here. It might not tell you where to go, but at least give you some orientation.
Thank you, but I already have one.
Oh, good. Just be careful.
How come you weren't dressed as a priest last night?
That question.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, nothing against you. But it's the same annoying question that keeps coming back at me, like a bat flapping in circles, year after year. I see October 28th on the calendar, and I know what's coming to bite me.
So what's the reason?
I tell everyone I can't wear it because I have to work. But the truth is, I don't believe it will make a difference if I did. In general, the ritual doesn't make a difference.
Why does everyone else wear it?
Because the inhabitants believe we are all disciples of Ivan Kotar, and so we have to dress like them on the day. Not just in the evening when the effigy is set on fire, but all the time, from dawn to dusk.
But what is the reasoning behind it? The dress is just a terrifying shadow of what a priest's robe should look like.
There's a belief that wearing it scares off demons, witches, and other evil spirits. I guess the darker it looks, the scarier it is. I don't know.
The effigy turned into ash last night. What does it represent?
A demon slave of the moon god. The effigy ritual marks the end of the day of Ivan Kotar. People gather on the square, they pray and chant as one voice. Which sounds beautiful. It's the best part. No, it's the only part of the day I love.
I thought the exact opposite. It was a disturbing scene, and I felt true, primal fear.
Then the mayor comes out and everyone stops, and when the last words leave his mouth, the effigy is finally set on fire.
Has anyone been hurt over the years? The fire spreads very quickly, a wide and massive whirl as if ignited from the darkest of places.
No, not that I recall of. Why? Oh, you mean because they stand so close to the figure?
Yes, and because it could come down at any moment. It's so tall, the nearby buildings could be hit.
Nothing to worry about. God is protecting them. Or at least it's what they believe. Oh, and those who are tasked with creating the effigy are given a free pass into the forest. Can you guess why?
No.
You haven't even tried to guess. Because it's made of black wood, plant roots, and undergrowth from Carcassa. Slaves of the moon god supposedly live or dwell as spirits if they are dead inside the forest, and so, you know. Some of the townsfolk even swear to hear the wailing of demons the whole night after the fire. I don't know.
You knew Yakov Prenger?
Our former priest. I knew who he was, but I never really had a chance to speak to him. Why?
I heard he went missing.
Many people still go missing, vanishing without trace as if they never existed. I heard this about Yakov too. Sorry I couldn't tell you more, but I really don't know anything else.
Do you know anyone who could lend me a boat?
There's only one man with a boat in this town, and his name is Arsen.
Are you completely sure? The lake is huge. There should be more of them.
It's Arsen or nothing. What do you need a boat for?
I need it to get to Klek.
Beware, Klek is on the list of forbidden places. You think Victoria is there?
Could be.
Then I wish you luck. Try talking to Arsen. I think he'll help you. Swimming or going on foot would be suicide.
Your last name is Lovnyak, right?
Not a hard guess. It's on the sign.
Melita is your mother?
She is... was. Why?
What happened to her?
We don't know. She just disappeared. Exactly 5 years ago yesterday.
Did she die or just go missing?
I remember it as if it were yesterday. We went to the church, prayed, wore the disciple dresses, scared some kids. So much fun and joy. A long time ago she came up with this crazy thought. When I grow up, we will have a day only for us. Just the two of us, without father. And so, over the years, it became a tradition. Father was so jealous, but happy. We were all happy. Anyway, tired and feeling sick, I chose to go home that day, right before the effigy ritual.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked.
It's all right. On my way out of here, I turned around and she looked at me with those beautiful green eyes, and I remember seeing them change color. Her neck bent awkwardly, both eyeballs instantly became blood red, and I heard her screaming even if her mouth didn't open. We don't know what exactly happened to her, but since it was a full moon night, we just knew.
Forgive me, but... You didn't ask around if anyone saw something?
Father did, and the only information he managed to get, after all these years, is that she was last seen entering the Carcassa forest, alone.
So she wasn't actually taken away?
Of course she was. I don't believe what the police said. Why would she go into the forest on her own? She was terrified of it. It just doesn't make any sense. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Something is off here. Are you sure her eyes changed color?
Absolutely. Why?
You said they were blood red, right?
Correct.
The same color as the leaves on this tiny tree you have.
So?
Maybe in the moment you saw the blood red color of the leaves, your mind just thought it was her eyes.
No, Benedict. Her neck bent and her eyes turned blood red, and I heard her scream.
Memories can be deceitful.
I planted this tree after she went missing, because the color of its leaves reminded me of that day. It reminds me of her. And my guilt. Notice the vase. That's her. That's my mother's face. I recreated her entire head.
Surely a morbid way to remember a loved one. Excuse me.
Sure.
Bon, bah voilà. Alors, qu'est-ce que je dois faire? Parler au prêtre de l'église. Dans l'allée à droite du commissariat. commissariat.
I'm not a pest. The owner said she wants to be left alone. A hidden hatch? There's no way I'm going to lift this up. It's too heavy for my back. Only dust remains of the thing that... Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of... It's man-made, in the form of a sacred shape. A black magic circle for rituals. Even a mere tree root looks evil in this place. I feel it will grab me at any moment. That path seems to lead nowhere. All I see are rotten tree trunks and naturally formed mounds. The accursed Henna River, lifeless and noxious. The accursed Henna River, lifeless and noxious. Strange-looking rocks, like scars of a long-forgotten battle. I wonder what forces sculpted them to look the way they look now. are placed in a way to form a strange triangle, like a sacred space for rituals. Each has 3 shallow holes on a flat top in a triangle formation. It's a very tall tree, and there seems to be something similar to a house in the treetop. It's inhabited by dozens, if not hundreds of crows? Damn scavengers. They are everywhere. It looks very old, ancient, and so I wonder how could it resist the weather? Log. I don't think it's locked, but rather blocked by something heavy on the floor inside.
Ça aurait été trop beau.
Small, with blood-red leaves. I'm going to act on a hunch this time and follow this crawling tree. I was right. Crawling, blood-red leaves. Crawling, blood-red leaves. The place where the tree with blood-red leaves grows from. This looks like a burial mound. I think I know what happens to Ida's mother. I should talk to Ida. I can see the belfry of the Church of Mary in the distance. The police are still there. A very weird and creepy form they have. It's like looking at a petrified herd of giant spiders. Dear God, those are corpses. Not that it gives me much comfort, but at first, I thought they were ghosts. Natural gallows. With their long, strong branches, these trees serve as a perfect opportunity for those who want to commit the mortal sin of suicide. I wish unto these poor souls eternal torment in the afterlife.
Oh, putain, l'enfoiré.
The place where this looks like I should talk. The place this looks like I should talk.
Voilà. Il va y aller directement.
Madam?
Hello.
I found a mound deep inside the forest.
What kind of mound?
A burial mound, I believe.
How could you... Why are you telling me this?
The mound is completely overgrown by the crawling tree.
And?
It was man-made, erected over what I believe is a grave. A crawling kind of tree with blood-red leaves led me to the mound.
Blood red.
The same color and kind of tree you have here. I've seen trees that serve as gallows. They were in the vicinity of the mound.
Oh, the purgatory trees.
Why purgatory?
It's where people go to purify themselves from this place before entering heaven. One of the many beliefs preventing this town from falling into complete madness. I still don't understand. Why are you telling me these things?
Have you ever been there?
No, not that I recall. I don't know. Why?
I think you did. And the mound is actually your mother's burial place.
What?
You said her neck bent awkwardly.
To one side, as if it's broken.
Her eyes turned blood red, and you heard her scream.
Correct.
What kind of scream?
I don't know. I'd say as if someone was trying to suffocate her.
I believe you saw your mother dying on one of the purgatory trees.
What?
It was probably too painful to cope with the truth, so your mind tricked you into thinking you were not with her when that happened. Can you try to remember?
The trees, and the corpses, and spiders. Were there spiders?
Shrubs that look like giant spiders. I saw them too. You must have seen the moment when she hanged herself. That is why you remember the neck bending to one side and how she screamed while suffocating.
The blood-red leaves. I remember them now. The ground was full of them. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of blood-red leaves.
You were right and the police were wrong. She didn't go into Carcassa alone. You were with her. Can you remember why?
Oh, Mother. My dear Mother, I miss you so much. I let you do it. I helped you find the place. My mother, she couldn't bear the pain anymore. It was so painful watching her wither like a rose in winter. What am I going to say to my father now? He knew nothing of her agony. She didn't want him to know.
Tell him the truth. He'll understand. Or don't. Sometimes a lie can do more good than the truth itself.
Thank you, Benedict. Whenever I go into the forest, I always avoid that place. I always did, even before that fateful day with my mother. If it wasn't for you, I would have never found out what really happened to her. I don't remember burying her. I don't remember taking the trees. Nothing after her death.
Maybe revisiting the place could help you out. Think about it. Or just leave it in peace.
Maybe I'll go, but not alone. Thank you, my dear monk.
No need to thank me. Excuse me.
Sure.
Tiny chairs of torture and bells. I must say they are faithfully recreated to the smallest.
Oh, je fais n'importe quoi.
I dare not to try this.
Oh.
Never mind. For some reason, someone decided to wrap the carpet and put it here. I struggle to find a reason to do. This feels wrong. Everything is as we left it, but the crow's head is missing, and there's broken glass on the floor now. It must have been the warden who did this. What use is there in I dare not to try this. Excuse me. This feels wrong. That's a strange notion. I'm not going back.
Huh.
Madam?
Hello.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Which path should I take? Which path should I take? It's man-made, in the form of a sacred shape. I struggle to find a reason to do that. I have no faith in the outcome. I should contemplate. I struggle to find a reason to do that.
Oh, tu struggles tout, toi.
I can see the belfry of the church.
Ok, ici encore.
That path seems to lead nowhere. All I see are rotten tree trunks and naturally formed mounds. I struggle to find a reason to do that. I struggle to find a reason to do that. It's the resting place of Ida's mother. I shall leave her in peace. The natural gallop. I have no faith in the outcome. I struggle to find a reason to do that. I can see the... It's not going to work. I dare not to try this. For some people, this stone is... Haven, last seen on the... Beloved wife and mother, Melita Lavnyak, missing since October 1991 at the entrance of Carcassa. Now, beloved wife and... Now that the truth has been found, it's up to Ida to decide what to do with this poster. Young Kadia, missing his love since June. There's no way I'm going to lift this up. It's too heavy for my back. Excuse me.
What do you want?
Excuse me. I'm not a thief. Excuse me.
What do you want?
Excuse me. I don't want to look at those corpses anymore. I struggle to find a reason to do that. readable. That must read Sveti Kotar. And that should be the coat of arms of Croatia, the chessboard.
Je sais plus quoi faire. On me laisse rentrer là, enfin, ce serait bien.
It's locked. Only silence and darkness from inside.
No hint, no clue. Personne pour m'aider. Je pense que ça va rien changer. Je crois que j'ai déjà essayé d'aller lui parler, au gamin.
I have no reason nor desire to go back into that lightless tunnel. Excuse me.
Ça a été rapide. On n'a même plus accès au saut. Si je veux aller parler auprès de l'église ou que la police soit plus là, mais je peux pas rentrer. Elle devra retrouver son amour par là, Victor. Comment je peux savoir ce qui est arrivé aux parents?
Which path should...
On va retourner, on va dans l'autre côté parce que là je vois plus où aller. Le boucher il a plus rien à nous dire. L'autre dans son magasin là. Je vais retourner la voir par acquis de conscience, mais elle a rien à nous dire de plus non plus.
Madam?
Hello.
Excuse me.
Sure.
It was all about...
Oh bah c'est nouveau ça, tiens. Oh non, je crois qu'on est déjà venu, je sais plus.
A mailbox? Not sure. It looks strange. Its ropes bear some resemblance to hangman's nooses. Makes sense for a town like this. I'm not going into the police station. I would risk being taken in for questioning, and they could be conspiring with Hatur.
Ok. On va déjà aller tout droit.
It's a long road that follows the river uphill and into the forest. I'm not going. I don't know where it would take me.
Je fais toujours des bons choix. On va par là alors.
I have no reason to go that way. It's a narrow, shady street that leads somewhere uphill. That's a strange notion.
Ça aurait été trop beau. Ah. J'ai failli louper. Ah non, c'est pas ce que je voulais faire. Ah là, c'est par là en fait. Ah, c'est par là qu'on devait passer pour aller à l'église.
Ivan Kotar, born in 1159, died in 1218. It's locked. There's a time and place to talk to him. This is not one of them. I have nothing to do in there. I'm sinless. It's an embalmed priest. Decapitated. His head is laying on a golden plate.
The Vatican declared him a traitor, an ally of the evil forces. Can you imagine that?
Strange. The sculpture of Jesus is not nailed to the cross, as it should be, but rather just tied up. Father Henry?
Henry Istrator, and you are?
Benedict.
A fellow man of the cloth, certainly.
What gave me away?
Your aura. And of course, the tiny crosses on your sleeves. You were saying your name?
Benedict Dochnani.
Ah, Victoria's brother. We finally meet. What can I do for you, Brother Benedict?
I came here to ask you about Arsen and your dispute with him.
Dispute? I don't want to talk about it. Not before I get comfortable with you. Let's talk about other things for now.
You met my sister?
Did I meet her? Who knows? Do I know of her? Yes, as every person, crow, and rat in this town.
But how do you know we are relatives?
I have infinite power, and am highly respected. When word spreads, it reaches my ears first.
I have a theory of what happened here, but I'd like to know more so that I can solidify it. You know much. Maybe you can help me.
I'm here for you, brother.
What can you tell me about the mayor of Sveti Kotar?
Ranko Merzel, a lurid creature, far worse than his father ever was. Corrupt, full of sin, and unscrupulous. Gullible as well. He never saw his death coming, even though he knew he was chased by it. I was called to bless his soul before the funeral. Not going to. The very thought of it sickens me.
Who was Ranko's father?
Fran Merzel. He and our former priest, Yakov, founded Marov Asylum.
I welcomed the decision, but not anymore. Things changed quickly, and the asylum mutated into the same thing it originally tried to uproot.
And what would that be?
Marov became an island of terror and death for the Catholic community, instead of being a shield that protects it. It was founded with the goal to heal the unfaithful ones, and more importantly, to identify, catch, and execute the subordinates. Now it's a place where our brothers and sisters go and never return from. Healthy individuals full of faith just vanish. Fran had his share of sins, but he founded Marov with sincere intentions to help the town. Little did he know at the time the evil seeds he had planted.
Ranko was chased by death?
Nermin, his brother, the worst of the Merzel family, Worst of all men, an incarnation of evil. Although coming from a Catholic family, from the day of his birth it was clear there was something dreadfully wrong with him. I don't know him well, nobody does. But everyone knows about his deeds.
Chief Norden said he is a moon ghoul.
True, he is a Saboran. Some say even the current leader of their cult. He was once incarcerated in the asylum, but managed to escape. No one can find him anymore. I guess there is not enough will. It's not about the will to find Nerman. He's just a tiny shadow in a starless sky. People in this town dread things they cannot see or feel. The unknowable. They fear it because it is everywhere God is not.
You're talking about the moon ghouls now, right?
That is just a name for the weak. Call them by their true name, the Saborans. The Saborans are not unknowable. They are an ancient tribe that glorifies death, diseases, and pain. Cannibals who cultivate morbid rituals as part of their religion. Sekvra.
Sekvra? I've heard that name before, somewhere.
You heard it because there was a book of the same name, the original copy of which was lost in the 15th century.
Yes, it all happened during the Valais witch trials.
Dark times fell upon that place because of the book. It vanished with its author, a witch by the name of Jadwiga Mazrak. You can see the Saborans are not a complete mystery. Things we cannot possibly understand are, my brother, the forces and entities this tribe worships. Only madness and death await those who manage to understand. It is what happened to Ivan Kotar, after all. Let's leave this subject. I cannot possibly recount centuries of their history in the reasonable time I have now. Maybe one day you'll be able to read the pamphlet I've written on them. Maybe.
Tell me about the asylum's warden.
Hatur. As the head of the asylum, I know he is somehow involved in the conspiracy against the Catholics. I'm the only person in this town who openly criticizes him, the chief, and the mayor. In one way or another, they are all acting against God, and possibly fallen under the influence of the Saborans. What interests you about him?
My sister's husband went missing after visiting him at the lodge.
Nikolai. He was kidnapped. But I feel there is more you want to say.
Victoria met with Hatur last night. They talked, and I still can't understand what happened to her.
So I was right. This sheds new light on the warden and the tribe. Not so much on her.
You think my sister joined the tribe?
I do, although I don't know how. Have you seen any changes in her lately?
That is a question for her husband. After our father disappeared, I went into monkhood. Since then, I barely see her.
When things start to look bad, some people think it's God's fault. Instead of showing him more love, they turn away from him. They don't realize it is only then, when they decide to forget him, that they start to wither their own souls. Sometimes they don't just wither, but rot. Rot until it is too late to get off the path that leads to hell.
The warden is meeting with the Saborans. A boy told me.
What boy?
Anton. He saw them meeting more than once.
Our protege. I knew he had been sneaking out, just couldn't prove it.
He saw Hatur taking Nikolai away to a locality called Klek.
I've never visited that hill, but everyone knows what that place is. The boy could be right.
Victoria abandoned God. I can feel it in my heart. She did it. The same happens to our aunt. She abandoned God. turned her faith to strange beliefs, had experienced a dreadful death.
It doesn't matter what you feel and what I believe. You have to find the whole truth. It is your responsibility. Find your sister and the truth that is hiding with her. I would risk going to the stake if I had to choose whether she is guilty or not. This town has many possible sources of evil.
Where should I look for her?
Begin with Klek. You might find her there with your brother-in-law, hopefully still alive.
What other sources of evil?
Everyone, including those who impose the so-called law. Everyone could be evil, even those who claim to be faithful. Keep your eyes open.
How come there's nothing in the Vatican's official archives about Sveti Kotar?
Because of Ivan Kotar. This town has an open dispute with the Vatican because of him. First, they sent emissaries to execute him. Then they denied the authorities to name this town in his honor. We did what was right, named him a patron saint. The Vatican is run by a mass of hypocrites.
It's the Holy See we are talking about here. There's nothing closer to God.
Nothing closer to God? Just because they said so centuries again? How can they ignore what Kotar did here? Maybe they are now aware of their own mistakes from the past, but have done absolutely nothing to mend them.
You cannot question their decisions. It's like questioning the Bible.
Brother, let's agree we don't agree and leave it there. We have other things to worry about right now.
I've never heard of a priest talking about the church in this way. Unacceptable, but this, along with other things I've learned until now, might be enough information for Father Imre. A man that goes by the name Jakov Prenger. Was he a former priest of this church?
He preceded me. Why?
I heard he went missing.
True. He was the warden of the asylum before Ranko became mayor. Then, one night, he just disappeared.
Any ideas what happened to him?
He was kidnapped by the Saborans and became their prey, the usual for this town. The new warden got him imprisoned because he knew too much? Or maybe that poor blind lady killed him because he couldn't love her the way she loved him. It's a mystery.
Was he a good warden?
Better than Hatur? Yes. Good? No. He was too soft and hesitant. We could have done so much more regarding the war against the Saborans.
Seems to me you're holding a grudge against him. Am I wrong?
We never liked each other. He was sent by the Vatican to take my place here. The Vatican, which for centuries never tried to contact anyone in this town, sends a man to take my seat? I could do nothing but step down. Yes, I hated him as much as I hate the Vatican. And I'm grateful to whoever made him disappear.
What about your dispute with Arsen?
Where did you meet that fool?
He's my only chance to get across the lake, and
you need his boat to get to Klek. So why didn't he give it to you? He doesn't need it. He's dying due to that vampire of his.
His parents are inside the boat. Did you exhume them?
Of course I didn't. I ordered the gravekeeper to do it. Arsen and his family are not welcome here anymore. The man is not evil, merely a fool who let evil do upon him.
What vampire?
Didn't you talk to him?
I did.
And you didn't notice that hideous dark thing on his neck?
No.
That fool got himself a parasitic giant worm. A leech he named Hem.
That's disgusting. But what is the reason you banned him?
I'm telling you, it's Hem. That thing was born and found deep inside the Carcassa forest. It's evil.
Can't he just get rid of it?
Arson believes Hem was sent to him from God. Can you believe it? He gave it a name and looks to it as his own child.
So what now? Anywhere else I could get a boat?
He is your only chance. And it seems like you are his only chance as well, if it's not too late.
What do you mean?
If he accepts to kill Hem, I promise I will think about reintegrating him and his family into our church again. But I need proof. I need to see Hem dead.
How do you expect him to kill the thing he sees as his own child?
That is the tricky part. I already tried to persuade him. Now it's your turn. If you succeed, you will get what you want.
You will just think about reintegrating him, or you will do it?
I'll do it.
Immediately after I give you a dead Hem.
I promise.
Excuse me.
Of course. This door is off.
Évidemment. Off limit.
I can see the school from here. I'm not going in. It's the district Arson told me to stay away from. The street is a dead end that leads to the cemetery. I have no reason to go that way. It's a long road.
le seul truc qui est embêtant, c'est qu'on peut pas se déplacer plus rapidement.
It's me again. I talked to Henry about the dispute.
And? Is he going to remove the ban?
What is the reason he banned you in the first place?
I don't know.
Could you please step outside so I can see you better?
No. It's safer in here.
May I come in then?
You are not family.
Step outside, please.
We talked before and you didn't ask me that. Why is it so important now?
Henry gave me something for you. I want to see you under the light while giving it to you. Henry is willing to unban you.
Is he? Really?
Yes. I will tell you all about our conversation, but you have to come outside.
I don't see the point, but if it's going to save my family... Now, what do you have to show me?
God, that leech thing on his neck is hideous. That is Hem. I never imagined a leech could get so big. Henry was right. The vampire thing is sucking the life out of this poor, naive man. I have to persuade him to give it to me. Arson, we have to talk about your child.
You stay away from him. Is this why you wanted me out here? Stay away.
Calm down. I'm not going to do anything to him, I promise.
What do you want then?
Where did you find Hem?
I didn't find him. He found me. Years ago, I helped a young detective with a case he was working on. He then showed gratitude by giving me a bucket full of leeches. And there he was. My little Hem. I'm so proud of him. He has grown much since that day. God bless that detective.
It was Detective Mostov?
I believe that was his name. Martin. Why?
Just curious. How did you help him?
We went on a tour of the lake. I showed him some places, but he was mostly interested in the island of the asylum.
Did he say why he was interested in the island?
Something about a runaway. I don't know.
Henry told me Hem was born in the Carcassa forest.
That doesn't mean he is evil. Henry thinks anything that grows or lives in that forest must be tainted.
And so out of all the leeches you had, you picked the exact one that became Hem.
He picked me. He crawled his way out of the bucket, moved onto my left hand, and then all the way up to my neck. His favorite spot, where he sleeps and eats.
How's your health?
Are you a doctor now?
I've noticed you have trouble breathing, and your skin has no color. Have you had this problem for a long time?
I don't know what you are talking about. I feel fine.
Didn't you say before you are too weak to board the boat?
The love of my child gives me strength and positivity. But I would feel better if I was allowed to attend masses again. And if my house would be blessed as it was before the ban.
I have an idea how we can solve your dispute with Henry.
I'm listening.
You have to give me Hem.
What? Forget it! Stay away!
Remember, I'm in the service of God. You have my word, I won't hurt your child.
He will die without my blood!
No, he won't, and you know that. How long do you think he can live without you? And be honest with me, it's your family at stake here.
Maybe just for one night.
This is the only way to get you absolved, but I need guidance from you.
What guidance?
And you have to keep our little secret to yourself.
I don't like this.
The plan is to find a leech similar to your hem. For that to work, I'd need your guidance. Where can I find one?
Why do you need him then?
So I can compare him to his potential clone. Henry seems like a clever man, and surely he remembers Hem's appearance very well.
My dear child in the hands of a stranger. I can't do this.
Do you want to live?
If I die, Hem dies. I cannot let that happen.
Do you want to live?
If I...
As soon as I find his double, I will return Hem safely to you.
And then what?
I will bring the double to Henry, claiming it's Hem. All you will have to do from then on is hide Hem when you are near Henry.
You intend to lie to a man of God?
It's for a greater good. God will understand.
Your proposal seems like the only way out of this situation. My dear child in the hands of a stranger. I can't do this. Farewell. I'll wait for you here. The house is lonely without you.
Don't be sad. You did what had to be done.
God bless him.
Where can I find his double?
I've never been inside the forest, but Ida told me once she found a place full of leeches. I believe it's where the detective found him. You must go through the wall of crosses and turn left at the crossroads. His brothers and sisters should be there, where Holly meets Hannah.
Hannah is the river?
It is. Keep him safe and get him back as soon as
Au
possible.
croix à gauche.
Let me say it again. Beware of the forest. It's easy to get lost in that malignant place.
What should I do now? Should I kill Hem, or find his double and kill it instead? Whatever I decide, God will understand. Dark times require immoral acts. Excuse me. I think this is the place Arsene told me about. It's swarming with leeches. How am I going to find one similar enough to Hem? They all look the same. Right. By concentrating only on the biggest ones. No, too thin. Looks similar enough, but maybe I should look at others before choosing. It has a nasty scar. This is not the one. I don't know. Something is off with this one. Hideous. It's laying eggs right now. The size fits. This is the one. No need to search further. I should probably try something else. I have no confidence in a valid outcome. Rot in hell! The thing has been executed. I should give it to Henry now. One dead leech is all that was needed.
Ah, purée, mais qu'est-ce que je suis con. Ah, purée. Ah, quel abruti. Je vais sauvegarder la partie.
Madam? Excuse me.
Sure.
Je voulais pas tuer M, moi.
I'm not going into the police station.
Ah, je suis bête.
Chem is dead.
Proof?
stabbed to death.
It is the vampire indeed. How did you manage to persuade that old fool?
Does it really matter now? It's done. The thing is rotting in hell. Are you going to keep your word?
Of course. You can go tell Arson. I will come to visit him soon. His house needs to be blessed.
I will. God bless you.
Take the boat. Row towards the truth, brother. I'll keep you in my prayers and hope we'll meet again soon.
Cam is gone.
What do you mean?
He's dead.
What? How? What happened?
I killed him. I had to do it. You don't understand.
No. My little child. No!
You don't understand. Cam was an evil thing. A vampire. He was draining your life force.
How could you? You are a monster! You made me believe you! You killed my child! Oh, him, my dearest one, I can't. My life has no meaning anymore. My life is ended. You didn't kill only him. You killed both of us.
You are no longer banned from the church. Henry said he'll come by soon to bless your house.
I don't care. My faith is not important anymore. God has abandoned me. Be gone now. The boat is free. I moved my parents into my house. Follow the shore along the other side until you see the 3 white fingers. I hope you experience an agonizing death on Klek. Amen.
I'm not giving him a replacement for Chem. I'll throw it into the lake later.
J'espère qu'il n'y avait pas un succès. Ah, apparemment non. Ou alors s'il y avait, je les ai déjà fait. Allez, on est parti.
I'm throwing this leech into the lake. I don't need it anymore. The boat is here, but they left. It might be too late, but I have to try. I have to get on top of that hill. God help me. Now more than ever. Khatur's boat. The inside is so dark. No, wait. It is full of blood. Damn crows! Click. Crows. They are everywhere. At least a dozen circling above these finger-like rocks. I should try to find some clues where Khatur might have taken Nikolai as quickly as possible.
Alors, juste un instant. Hop.
This rock looks like an altar. Blood. Lots of blood here. Drag marks in the blood, splattered to the right of the rock. Now smaller drops. Very hard to spot. They lead towards those small rocks. I'm struggling to notice anything here, but those look like bloody fingerprints. Footprints and marks of a body being dragged into the woods. Was Nikolai sacrificed here? I have no choice. I must follow the clues. Blood has led me here, to a watermill deep inside the woods. And I was followed the whole time. I can hear something. A very faint sound coming from down there. A small window is hidden behind this bush. That's Nikolai. He's either unconscious or dead. That massive pendulum is about to slice him in two. Nikolai! Wake up, Nikolai! Nothing. He's not moving. Human skin. I still can't fathom the hate and cruelty shared among God's creations. This mechanism is making the pendulum swing. There's no other explanation. I should try to stop the wheels, but I'd need something long and strong enough to do that. More blood. Wherever I go in this place, all I see is blood and death. I can't open it. The doorknob is missing. That's a strange notion. I struggle to find a reason to do that. I think that's not possible. That's a strange notion.
Nikolai! Wake up, Nikolai! Nothing. He's not moving.
I think I'm going to throw up. But this stake could be what I need for the mechanism of the wheel.
This is a nightmare.
It is massive, but I think I'll manage to carry it for this short distance. They all look the same. A tripod structure with two triangles on top, made of twigs and tied up with a yellow plant root. It's the symbol from the house. I'm not sure if they are meant to keep the worshippers safe or harm the sacrifice by deepening their pain.
You're alive!
Benedict? Come downstairs. Quickly! Come here. I'm too weak to...
I can't see a thing. It looks bottomless. Sharp enough to split a hair in two. I dare not imagine getting in the way of its swing.
How did you find me? I thought you already left town.
You can thank God for that.
There's no time. We must get out of here. I don't know where Kotar is, but I fear he... No, not anymore. Please.
I'm everywhere. I see and hear everything.
Your body is yellow because of the robe, but you have a face.
My face is a mask.
Someone told me moon ghouls have yellow bodies and shadows instead of faces. So what are you?
I am the king. You, that worm at your feet, the child on the pier. You all are slaves to Kasag.
What do you want?
Where is Nermin?
I don't know that man.
More importantly, where is the book?
What book?
Get down. Crawl like a worm. Start praying to that god of yours.
Please. We only want Victoria.
You wouldn't be here if that was the case. Facing the final moments of your existence. Tell me where Nermin is, and your agony will be brief. Give me the book, and your soul will be left to wander free. Don't do it, and you will be tortured until the last drop of blood has left your body. You will be then sent to Achrizath to serve Kasag.
I know you talked to Victoria last night.
She was asked the same questions, and she refused to talk. Just like the two of you. Things would have been different for everyone if she did her part.
What part? We came in this town to find...
It hurts, I know. You should blame her.
Didn't you hear the chief of police? Victoria and Nermin have disappeared.
Norin is insignificant. A blind follower of that god of yours. You know exactly where they are hiding.
I don't know what book you're talking about. Nikolai, do you?
The Sekfra. I already told him. I don't know anything about it.
The long-lost occult book.
The original was destroyed by the Inquisition.
It was, until a new one was written, enriched with secrets beyond your earthly realm, and more powerful than your silly little Bible. You know where it is, and you know what will happen if you don't give it to me. I'm giving you the last chance to speak up. And don't try to escape. Give up the book, or tell me where it is.
I should do something, but what? God help me.
Va t'aider en sauvegardant.
I have your book.
You worthless being! You will regret us! Mitvare! Kortsi! Achlizer! Twitch!
Help me tie him up.
Kasag sees you! He knows what you did!
Let's get out of here. There's another lever at the top of the stairs.
Remember, there can be only one God. Nothing in this pocket, and nothing in here. Wait, interesting. The key. Maybe we'll need it.
Good idea to search him. Let's leave this place. Now.
Are you sure about this?
If I have to choose between two nightmares, I'll take the one in my head. You should get some rest too.
I'm going to lay on the couch downstairs. Not really. As soon as he falls asleep, I'm getting out of here.
When I close my eyes, I can still see the pendulum getting closer with each breath.
What happened in the lodge?
It was that detective. He deceived us. He pushed us into this trap. Thank God we split. We would have been both dead by now if we had.
How did Hatur manage to take you away?
I don't know. He just appeared in front of my eyes. And then everything went dark. From then on, my mind kept phasing in and out, so... I don't remember much. Until I was awakened by these appalling screams. He was skinning a man. Alive. Impaled on a stake.
Who was that skinned man?
During one of the conscious phases, I remember seeing him in the boat. He had no skin on his face, and no eyes. It was impossible to know his identity. He was a living corpse.
What happened in the watermill?
I don't want to talk about it.
You are drained of energy. Your face is ghastly pale and you barely talk. But you don't seem physically injured, so what happened?
I'm not certain we killed him, Benedict. Can death die?
You heard his screams at the end. That man is no longer part of this reality.
I think he cursed me. He said so many words in an ancient language, and then with every word that came out, there was a weight inside. It was becoming heavier, unpleasant, until unbearable. He was trying to curse my soul, Benedict. He wanted me to let it go.
You are here. You survived. Calm down now. No need to talk about it anymore. There should be no more doubt, even for you. Victoria is involved in the horrors of this place.
She's not. You heard Hatur. He said that she was asked the same questions about Nerman in a book, which means she was captured and tortured too.
That man was lying, and he never said she was tortured, just that he asked her the same questions. Why did she rent the house for 3 nights? We were supposed to leave together immediately the next day.
I don't know. She just said to me we were going to stay more. I thought she was just joking. You know her.
No, I don't know her. Not anymore. It was Lucia, the owner of this cozy house, who told me it was rented for that long. Why would she stay this long? And without telling us, if not for obscure intentions?
She's not guilty, Benedict. For God's sake, it's your sister we're talking about.
Did you know that Victoria and Hatur had a friendly conversation in the woods last night?
Who told you that?
Madame Vera, the neighbor.
In the woods?
I went in there and found fresh footprints near a mass of human remains. Can you explain that?
It could have been someone else, or that neighbor is lying.
Remember what Mostov said before letting us go? Hatur was looking for Victoria last night, before the incident at the castle.
I don't believe anyone. She had nothing to do with those atrocities.
To sum up, and please don't interrupt me. Victoria and Nerman disfigured the mayor to worship a malignant deity. I'm getting sick just by saying this, but the mayor was Nerman's father, so you can imagine what kind of monster he is. She dragged me into this town claiming that we would be staying just 1 night, but she actually rented the house for 3 nights. Did she plan to sacrifice me to her new master? Maybe even the both of us. Hatur knew her, a man who called himself the king of a cannibal tribe. Maybe she has that book he was looking for. Maybe she just didn't want to tell him where Nerman is. All I know, a man that evil would have killed her in the woods if they didn't have a mutual agenda. Victoria left God and became what our parents feared she could be. She murdered that man in the Carcassa forest, and she murdered her unborn child.
She did not. Our child is not dead.
I already saw that in our family. Victoria became what our parents feared she could become. Our aunt.
She never told me anything bad about your aunt.
She murdered her unborn child too.
Murdered? That's impossible. Victoria would never have kept such a secret from me.
Nikolai, she kept her mouth shut because she's afraid of becoming just like our aunt.
Enough. Leave. You can say whatever you want. I know my wife is just a victim in this story. She's a good person.
You should rest now. But first, let me just ask you what—
Why did you choose to stay? You don't care about your sister. Even less about me.
To find the truth. It's my responsibility to know what happened and to understand why she did it. Victoria became what our father hated. I want to know why.
Well, it couldn't be simpler. The truth is right in front of you. You're just too blind to see it. What was that you wanted to ask me?
In the watermill. You said to Hatur you came into this town to find something. What exactly? Hatur said Kasag knows what you did. What did he mean by that? Don't answer. I just wanted to see your face while asking. I'll find the truth eventually. I should pay a visit to Mostov. He has a lot to explain and surely knows more about what's going on. It's a risk going there after what happened to Hatur. And there's still the chance they could take me in. But I think I'm out of options. For some reason, someone decided to wrap the carpet and put it here. Lucia must have lit the fire. There are a few feathers and several burnt beaks among the warm glow of the embers.
Je vais essayer la clé sur la porte, on sait jamais.
It's not going to work.
Oh, ça doit être la petite maison, là, le moulin. Je sais plus où il est maintenant. Où je vais? Où je vais?
Which path should I take?
Non.
That's a strange notion. Ivan Kotar. His eyes are in every nook and cranny of this town. So many case files. It's sad when your life, your whole existence since the day you were born is reduced to a sheet of paper. Beate qui ambulant in lege domini. Amen to that. Officer.
Officer Mars. Stranger, do me a favor. Take a look at those 2 opened case files on the desk.
Why?
Just do it.
Adi Bojanic. Such a beautiful dog.
Yonkadia. Disappeared on March 2nd, 1982. Person last seen on a full moon night. Multiple witnesses saw him talking to a strange, tall man earlier that day. Clothes and personal belongings found in a trash bin near the railway station. Clothes were full of crow feathers and blood-stained. Analysis showed blood was of unknown animal origin. Haven Elizabeth McGuire. Date of disappearance is unknown. Talked to a few officers on a few occasions, asking for directions. Was particularly interested in the mountain. Rented 2 rooms for 2 nights in the Lodge Goldin. Reasons unknown. According to the receptionist, she didn't eat nor sleep. Receptionist heard her talking to someone in the room the first night, but saw no one with her before or after. Adi Bojanic. Such a beautiful dog. I looked at the case files. What was the point?
Remember those people. They were strangers just like you. They wander around the town, just like you. You don't get to walk safely in this valley. Sveti Kotar is a dangerous place.
I know that.
They knew too, and the ones that went missing before and after them. Everyone knows, but nobody cares.
I understand. Thank you for being so thoughtful, officer.
Just doing my job. Now tell me, what made you appear in front of my desk tonight?
I'm looking for Detective Mostov.
He's downstairs with the mayor. Wait a minute. Who are you, anyway?
This man doesn't seem to know about me and the interrogation. I'd better lie.
Well?
I was sent to bless the mayor's corpse before the funeral.
Who sent you?
Father Henry.
Why? Is he alright? He always comes.
Well, no. He didn't feel well tonight, and it was an important matter that couldn't wait. So, here I am.
I agree, but you are a stranger. You don't live in Sveti Kotar.
I'm a visiting priest of the Church of Ivan Kotar.
I see. All right, Father. You may go see the mayor downstairs. It's the passage behind me.
When did the disappearances start?
Centuries ago.
And no one did anything to stop it by now?
Hey, we are doing the best we can, even though it helps nothing. If the efforts of the Inquisition were futile, then there's not much we can really do here. Just pray, I guess.
What did the Inquisition do?
They built this building, the Grimalda Castle, and the Church of Mary in the forest. Helped to materialize God, you know. They banned the Saboran name and religion, and they hunted them. Thanks to their efforts, many followers of the vile tribe were captured and executed. But the evil is still here. It's floating in the air, it's crawling under the ground, and it's poisoning the minds.
Why not just abandon this valley then? It's irreversibly cursed.
Faith. We the Kotarians are stubborn people. We may have little possessions, but we never lack faith. And one day, a savior will come, and we will be free of the malice. It's faith that keeps us living and hoping.
There's a strange-looking mailbox outside.
Mailbox?
Yes, on the facade of the building.
Ah, that is not the mailbox. It's for the denunciations.
You let people denounce misdeeds by slipping pieces of paper into a box?
Yes, as per the decree, proof of faith.
Has this something to do with the edicts of faith from the past?
I think so. The decree was enacted years ago by our beloved mayor, God bless his soul. And I know he was a great admirer of Inquisition's methods.
I'm starting to pity the mayor. What kind of denouncements are we talking about here?
Denouncements that prove your faith to God.
More specifically?
You suspect someone to be a Saboran? You denounce him. Your neighbor shows a lack of faith. You denounce him. An old friend knew about a Saboran family but said nothing? You denounce both him and them. You must act if you love God. Otherwise, you risk being taken away.
What happens to the denounced ones?
They are taken into the asylum for further inspection and, hopefully, successful exorcism. So take this matter seriously while in town. If you meet someone unfaithful, denounce them.
Who decides if your faith is strong enough? I mean, officer, it's easy to say who is a Saboran, right? But how do you know if a believer is having a lack of faith?
I know what you're thinking, but the men who decide make no mistakes. They have integrity. The warden and his staff are good people, exemplary believers. They have the town's full confidence.
This man knows nothing about the conspiracy, or doesn't want to know about it.
Do you see the paper forms and quill by the lamp? Combine them to file a denunciation, then take the form and put it into the box outside. It's that easy to show your love for God, while at the same time making this town a safer place.
Whatever becomes of them at the asylum, I could denounce those I believe should be punished. After all, it is my duty as a man of God, and it's anonymous. Excuse me.
Remember, do not waste forms. Use them wisely and with utmost respect. They have the power to change someone's life forever. And don't forget to put them into the box outside. Otherwise, they are nothing but a worthless piece of paper.
They know what she did. This denunciation will mean nothing to anyone except me. It's my personal revenge for what she did to me and God. In a way, she is responsible for her mother's death. She is a sinner. But I won't be her judge. I won't denounce her. I have to think.
Finally, Father. We were waiting on your arrival. God forgive me, but I've started with the prayers in your absence. I hope I didn't cause any harm to this man's poor soul.
You think God will forgive you for what you did to us?
Benedict? I thought I heard Henry upstairs.
It's what you thought you heard because we are already dead in your mind.
That is absolutely not true.
Then why do you look so confused and uncomfortable to see me?
It's not. I'm horrified by what was done to our mayor. Take a look at him if you wish, or we can continue talking. I must warn you though, what's hiding underneath that sheet could haunt you forever.
And I must warn you too. Henry knows I'm here, so do not try anything foolish. Type A, Type 0. These bottles are all full of blood. I'm no expert, but I never knew blood to be taken out of corpses. Why would they do that?
Pour les vampires.
No, it's probably the room where they keep the corpses. My God. Slit open and disemboweled.
This is what bewilders us. The heart was taken out and eaten as usual, but they never disemboweled the trunk. Strange.
The skull was opened to take a piece of the brain out. The eyes were gouged out and the skin ripped off of his face. Dreadful. Belittling.
The worshipper took his face to create a new yellow mask, while the eyes and part of the brain were eaten as a part of the ritual.
It must be the yellow mask the mayor was wearing when they found him in the forest.
Yellow masks are nothing but disembodied skin faces of past Saboran's victims, colored with sulfur and then smeared with some strange kind of wax to prevent decay.
Answer me. Do you worship the evil and the unknown just like the man you follow?
The man I follow?
Hatur is a Saboran.
What?
Nikolai believed you. I didn't. But still, we both fell into Hatur's trap and were almost murdered.
God, no. Are you sure? How can you be so sure? You must be lying.
Do you think I am capable of lies? A man of God never lies.
You are right. I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry. I swear to God, I didn't know who he really is. I was just following orders. But I'll do whatever it takes to be forgiven. Whatever it takes, whatever God demands.
Then start showing some good faith by answering my questions. What happened last night?
What do you mean?
You were with Hatur and he was looking for Victoria. Why?
I don't know. Can't remember. Where's Hatur now?
Don't lie to me. You know the reason.
I wasn't told anything.
You're afraid of him. Hatur is no longer with us.
You killed him?
God has his ways of dealing with evil.
All right. I was just told we should find Victoria before she carries out whatever plans she had with Nermin.
Plans she had? How do you know she had a plan?
We know she met with Nermin and the cult the first time she came here.
What are you talking about? This is our first time in this place.
You didn't know? That explains a lot. She visited town a few months ago. No doubt about it, multiple witnesses saw her.
Who are the witnesses?
I know only of Lucia, the owner of the house where we found you earlier.
This means... Did Victoria stay in the same house back then?
She did. Introduce herself as Petra.
Why do you think she met with Nermin and the cult back then?
You don't have to be smart to connect the pieces. She arrived just after Nermin's escape from the asylum.
The case you've been working on.
How do you know?
I had a chat with the old man at the lake.
Arsen. Good man. I regret taking his help, for it made me lose half of my brain.
Right. So is it possible Victoria helped Nermin escape? Or did she arrive here when she found out about it?
It's all connected. It must be. We're still trying to find out how. I said it before, and I'll repeat it now. It's crazy to think that your sister did all this. But if evidence leads us there, I'm sorry.
The asylum is under the control of the Saborans, isn't it?
I don't know.
So why would they imprison Nermin? It doesn't make any sense. He's one of them.
That's just a rumor Henry is trying to spread to the townspeople. No one, except for the warden and the staff, knows what's going on in the asylum. No one. Not even our chief.
The more I learn about the truth, the less I can understand what happened. Did you identify the man with the yellow mask?
The castle incident?
Yes, the identity of the man that was pushed by Victoria.
We found all his, or should I say most of his, body parts. Wasn't easy. He splashed and ricocheted all over the chasm. Needless to say, due to severe disfiguration, we still haven't found out who he was. Getting his identity will be tough, if not impossible.
He was wearing a yellow mask. You found his head. Don't you have his teeth?
Only what's left of them, and they can't help in any way. I know what you're asking. I'm aware of identification through dental records. But we have no dentists in town.
Even the teeth are rotting here. You didn't find his hands?
We did.
Didn't you run the database against his fingerprints then?
Do you know where you are? It's like we're stuck in medieval times. We don't have a database of any sort.
For God's sake. How can I get to the castle?
It's very easy. Going out of the station, you turn right, and then just follow the river uphill. But forget about it. Grimalda is off limits every day of the year except on October 28th, which was yesterday.
Maybe there could be some clues to who that man was. Something, anything.
That's our job, not yours. And I would never let you go there, Father. It's sealed and locked for a reason.
A sealed door won't stop me if the truth moves me in that direction. You lost part of your brain by helping Arson. Could you tell me what happened?
I uncovered something which I wasn't supposed to. Someone learned about my discovery and tried to kill me. I still can't remember what I found and who attacked me. Heck, sometimes I can't even remember what I did yesterday. But God help me, I'll find the truth. Yes, I will.
Excuse me.
Father, could you do me a favor?
It depends on the request.
Please go upstairs and ask Officer Maz to give you the case file I handed to him earlier. I want to make things right.
You want to make things right? What do you mean?
Just trust me. Go get it. I don't want to leave the mayor now. I have to pray for his poor soul.
I'll do it.
Thank you, Father.
That's a strange notion. I have no faith in the outcome.
Il n'y a aucune foi, ok.
Detective Mostov sent me to get a case file for him.
He said nothing to me.
The one I handed you before. Give him just the note from inside.
No problem. Father?
Mindig Valami. It's the newspaper where Victoria works. This is her handwriting. The page was removed from her scratch pad. This must be the Eye of Providence, a symbol that represents the Eye of God watching over humanity. I wonder what that X mark means, if it means anything at all. It's blunt, rusty, and smells of death. Khatur's key. Maybe it opens his lodge room. It's my personal revenge for what my sister did to me and God.
Je vais peut-être un petit peu attendre avant de la dénoncer.
It leads to the interrogation rooms. Chief Noren?
He won't answer you.
Your cousin Davorgorsky has sent me.
Leave.
Told you so.
I have a gift for you.
You want me to arrest you this time?
It's a cleaver. Davor said that you...
You may go in now. That was the sign.
Put that thing on my chair. The chair in front of the fireplace.
What thing?
The damn cleaver! If you need to talk to me, I'm here. You may go now.
The Bible. I see books of all kinds, but the religious type dominates the shelves. Zerkva, Redemptio, Ispoviedi, Rimska Katecheza, to name just a few I see on first glance. I know nothing about flowers, but this one has a unique shade of blue. It's pretty, if not a bit strange to see in a man's office. It's an old, shabby chair. The cleaver is placed on it as a trophy of some kind. I should be careful what I say. You won't take me in?
Why would we? You're more valuable to us on the outside.
Mostov lied. Letting us go was all planned.
You seem shocked. Trust me, you wouldn't be wandering around the town if I didn't allow it.
You think that we are going to lead you to Victorian and Nermin?
Yes, or they're going to come after you.
But you are wrong.
I'm never wrong, and I never fail.
The cleaver I brought you.
Stop!
I just want to know the story behind it.
I won't tell you, and neither will Davor.
It seems a bit strange that a thing like that gave me access to your office.
I have your fingerprints on it now.
So? I did nothing. I just brought it to you.
Oh, but you did more than that. You got involved in something your feeble mind cannot possibly comprehend.
And what would that be?
Keep asking, and you'll realize soon. Better just stop.
Are you a devoted Catholic?
You saw the Bible on my desk, or maybe the books on the shelves, and so now you think I am.
Are you?
God is my shepherd, and I am the shepherd of this town.
Then you should know. You should understand that I couldn't have been involved in my sister's deeds. I'm a monk.
I'm never wrong. You being a man of cloth doesn't change anything. I don't know you. Only God does. Your awaiting fate will prove to me what you really are.
About the man in the yellow mask.
The one your sister pushed to his death?
About him, yes. Have you found his identity yet?
No. And even if we did, I would never tell you. Stop asking.
How good of a detective is Mostov?
The best.
Really? He doesn't seem to be focused all the time. Not sure if he's all that reliable either.
He's obedient and disciplined. That's all I need from my men.
Excuse me.
God bless you, Benedict.
I have to go downstairs to talk to Mostov first. He's gone. No. It's probably the room where they keep the corpses. It must be the yellow mask, It must be the skull was open. Dreadful. The skull was dreadful. Slit open. I had to go, Father. I apologize. What Maz gave you is the last page of Victoria's notebook. We found it in the belfry at the crime scene. Other notes are irrelevant, dated months ago. No one will notice a page missing. This is the only evidence I can give you. Hope it helps for you to find her, and for me to be forgiven of my sins. P.S. If you need me later, come visit me. Once you get out of the station, turn right, and then just follow the narrow street until you reach the last house on the hill. P.P.S. Burn this note. This is his way of making things right? I'll take the note as evidence, and it could help me to find his house later. This jutted out part of the bridge can't be a planning mistake. It was made with a specific purpose. This very platform is the place from which people were pushed into the bottomless chasm. Dark, lifeless, and shrouded like a corpse by a sickening veil of thick fog. I feel threatened by just looking at it. The three peaks of Udaf, the poisonous crown of a godless man who looks down on a ravaged land and terrified people. It's locked. Breaking in would be impossible with such a massive door. If I didn't come here, thoughts like this would never cross my mind.
Je t'adore mon bébé, c'est mon chat, hein. Je l'adore, mais là, j'aimerais bien
This should be
qu'elle...
the street that leads to Mostov's house.
Que tu arrêtes de te mettre devant la télé, petit cœur de beurre, hein?
The glass is dirty and darkened, making it impossible to see through. I can't see a thing. The glass is too dirty. It's just a well. I can't see how deep it is since its hatch is closed. Mostov! It's me, Benedek. Hello? Mostov? Your door was unlocked.
Well, who do we have here?
What are you doing here? Hiding behind the door in Mostov's house?
Sometimes they just come to you. No hunting, no drama. Perfect.
What?
You'll make a perfect gift for Kasark. You will.
Wait, no! No!
Et ben voilà, encore une fin différente. J'ai bien fait de faire une sauvegarde tout à l'heure. Et bien merci d'avoir suivi. Je reprendrai la partie, hein, ça c'est certain. Et si vous avez aimé, n'hésitez pas à liker. Et voilà, passez une bonne journée. Have a great day, have a nice evening. Et à bientôt.